I'm now going to do a pre-trip in-cab inspection. I'm going to check my driver's side and passenger side mirrors and make sure they're securely mounted, not cracked or broke, free of obstruction, and properly adjusted to me. I'm going to check my driver's side and passenger side door, that it opens and closes properly, that my hinges are secure, no bolts are missing, and my seal around my door is in place and not leaking. I'm going to check my driver's side and passenger side windows, make sure they roll up and down properly, they're not cracked or broke, and they're free of obstruction. I'm now going to check my safety belt. It's not cut or frayed. It latches and unlatches properly. My seat is securely mounted to the floor and it is properly adjusted to me. Now I'm going to check my front windshield. My front windshield is mounted securely. There's no cracks or chips. The seal around it is intact, not leaking. There's no illegal stickers. My windshield wiper arms are securely mounted and have the proper tension against the window, and my windshield wiper blades are not cut or frayed, and they are both working properly, as well as my fluid. Now I'm going to check my heater and defrost. My defrost and my heater are both working properly. I have an ABC fire extinguisher that is securely mounted and properly charged. I have 3 emergency triangles that are all present, and I have extra fuses in case of emergency. My city horn, my air horn both work properly. I'm now going to inspect my instrument gauges. My oil pressure gauge is reading about 25 psi, and that monitors the amount of oil pressure in my engine block. This is my water temperature gauge. It is about 180 degrees, and it monitors the temperature of my coolant and water in my engine block. My fuel gauge is at half a tank. My primary and secondary air gauges are both running about 125, and my voltmeter, my air gauges tell me how much air is in my air tanks. My voltmeter is reading 14.1. It shows me how much volts are coming from my alternator to my truck and charging my battery. Now I'm going to check my indicator lights. This is my left turn signal indicator, my right turn signal indicator, my 4-way flasher indicators, and my high beam indicator. Take a moment to see that I got everything. I believe I have. I'm now going to proceed to my air brake check. I'm going to put my truck in a low gear, prevent it from rolling, turn my engine off, back to the on position. I'm going to release my parking brake and my trailer air supply brake. After the air settles, I'm going to apply pressure to my service brake, and I shouldn't lose no more than 4 psi in 1 minute. And I'm going to time myself with this. This is probably the longest minute in history. I didn't lose no more than 4 psi in 1 minute. I'm now going to fan my service brake until my low air alarm comes on at about 60 psi. Here's my low air alarm coming on at approximately 60 psi. I'm now going to continue to fan my brake until both my parking and my trailer air supply brakes pop out. They both popped out and they're working properly. I'm now going to perform a safe start. Turn my truck off, back to the on position. My gauges should sweep and my USB light and other warning lights should come on and disappear. I'm going to depress my clutch, make sure my truck is in neutral, and start my engine. After my engine is running, I'm going to release my clutch slowly to ensure that I'm in neutral. That completes my safe start. I'm now going to increase my RPMs between 10 and 1400 until the governor cutoffs. The governor regulates the amount of air pressure in my air tanks. It should cut off at about between 120 and 140 psi. It'll be a sneeze sound. My governor cut off. Air gauge is reading about 130 psi. I'm now going to perform a tug test. Press my clutch, put my truck in low gear, release my parking brake, and pull against the trailer brake. My trailer brake held properly. I'm now going to set my parking brake, release my trailer brake, tug against my parking brake. My parking brake held properly. And now I'm going to release both my parking brake and my trailer air supply brake, pull forward 3 to 5 miles an hour, and do a service brake check. Clutch and brake. My service brake is working properly. It did not pull to the left nor to the right, and my speedometer is working. Take one last check to see if I completed all my in-cab inspection. And if I have, secure my truck. That completes my in-cab. That completes my pre-trip inspection. Thank you.